Hey everybody, Iron Obi here, and the faction rally has come and gone, and surprise, surprise to no one really. Dead Orbit takes the first week. This, I know, is probably surprising to not a lot of people, but it was actually a little surprising to me, only because the grand weapon that Dead Orbit had, from just a stat standpoint and from a perk standpoint, wasn't all that great of a weapon. Like, this is an okay scout rifle, but the game's been out for like 3 weeks, almost a month at this point. You've probably found a decent, good scout rifle that you like, or one that you really want to stick with, and I like that is already better than the Dead Orbit scout rifle. And after looking at all the reviews that people are now doing on how good is the scout rifle, was it worth Dead Orbit winning? The general answer seems to be, nah, not really. It seems that it is an average at best scout rifle, and not really the big reward that everyone was kind of like maybe initially before it was released thinking it was going to be. So I don't know if this first faction rally win almost feels like it comes off of just kind of people feeling like, you know, Dead Orbit's real cool, they've got black and white shaders. So that kind of sucks, because I was looking forward to the Future War Cult Pulse Rifle, and that's who I repped. Mainly because I liked everything Future War Cult was selling, and I liked the gun that they were kind of wanting for the reward, and I liked their armor because it ran no mobility if you wanted it to. But yes, Dead Orbit has won the first round, so good job, Dead Orbit. Good job. You've taken the first week. Hopefully, and this is kind of what the video's about. Will Dead Orbit always just win every faction rally? Now, the faction vendors haven't left yet, so you can still pick up, there's some stuff, and you can still turn in tokens, I believe. I think they're here to stay. It was my belief that they would maybe leave when the faction rally was done, and they'd show up again later, but apparently they're just here to stay as some sort of time-to-release content from Bungie, and now they're just kind of here, and we'll have them forever and ever. But going back to, again, what we said, will Dead Orbit always win? This has been a big speculation of how large the Dead Orbit fan base is, at least in comparison to maybe some of the other. Yes, New Monarchy is pretty big. Future War Cult is maybe, sniffing glue in the corner, but the amount of the variety of the weapons that Future War Cult was sporting, the fact that all their armor was coming with, no mobilities, you could run max, almost max, you could run either max resilience or max recovery. So I liked everything about that, and everything about the Dead Orbit stuff was, for me at least, was kind of subpar. I was like, hand cannon's okay. Nah, their scout rifle, not really that great. The Pulse, who cares? It's just not really great stuff, and I wasn't really into the armor. Yeah, post-military, maybe someone that gets somebody going, but it didn't get me excited. So, but again, this has also been a problem for, say, a game like For Honor. For Honor also features 3 factions that fight over territories, and that changes, and the territories will exchange hands with, whoever wins that many rounds, or whoever wins that season. And For Honor is divided into seasons, and so far it's been, a victory for one clan, a victory for another clan, and a victory for a third clan. So everything has been paced out, so it almost kind of feels that maybe the developers have kind of been twisting the results to kind of make it seem more interesting, so one side just doesn't snowball the other, and it's just like, oh, well, Samurai won. The Samurai just won everything, and we changed it to Vikings so it seemed more interesting. Now that game has been out for a lot longer than Destiny 2 has, and maybe that player base has been dwindling down, so you have that thing of, the character or the people leaving to play other games and do other stuff. But Destiny 2 is relatively new, so this is the first faction event we've had, so we can assume that the player base at this moment is at its highest when this event came out. This is the highest the player base will be when this first faction rally comes out, and Dead Orbit won. They won this week, so we don't have the numbers to figure out how much they won by. That would really help us a lot to see how much Dead Orbit really won by. And then we've got a Bungie weekly update coming out tomorrow when this video comes out on Wednesday. So maybe they'll give us a breakdown of how much Dead Orbit won by, so we can make that assessment, because right now we can't. But it is worrisome that I'm wondering how they'll do it. Will they be just kind of like, whatever, the faction that wins is the faction that wins, in which case it might just be Dead Orbit. Now, if the Dead Orbit player base falls out, and maybe some of the Future War Cult stuff can come in, or maybe Future War Cult or New Monarchy have really awesome weapons, and it's just like, this is a must-have, you know, that's up to Bungie, and Bungie can make that happen. Or are we going to see something like maybe what people suspect For Honor is doing, where they maybe tweak the results just a little bit to get us like, oh, Dead Orbit, look at how, oh, Dead Orbit didn't win this one. Oh, man. Oh, geez, but they have so many people. And then you get the, you know, the Dead Orbit people are like, well, why didn't we win? Of course, we have way more, we have 70% more population than Future War Call New Monarchy put together. There's no way they won. So there could be some issues with, you know, each one, and then we could get hate, and then there's already, like, tension between the factions, which is nice, but then you get this sort of, like, you know, oh, you're pandering to these people, oh, you're pandering to Future War Cult because they never win, and Dead Orbit, or Future War Cult, or New Monarchy. And I don't think that's healthy for the game, so I really don't hope, but there's probably, regardless of whether this video does anything, that mentality of accusing somebody else of, like, being babied by the developer company, in this case Bungie, is probably not going to go away, and we'll have to deal with that. But I hope, Bungie, if you're listening, which you probably aren't, but if you were, and if you are, release those stats. Let us know, how much did Dead Orbit win by when token turn-ins? Like, how much did, what math do you use to calculate who had the most and who did the best? Show that to me, and hopefully the rest of the community, please. I would be very interested in that. Thank you, Bungie. But that's all on Faction Rally, but to close out the video on a positive aspect, because I don't want to close it out on just this, Iron Banner, hopefully coming back around soon. We've heard early October it's coming back around. Hopefully October 10th, maybe the next tomorrow weekly update, we'll get some sort of update about Iron Banner coming back around and doing some stuff, because I'm super excited for the armor. And we did see a little bit of what the Iron Banner will entail and who we'll be getting the quests from, because there are quests with this one, and some of the... So these are going to pop up on screen real quick. This is the Shades of Radagast. It's a legendary emblem you can attain, believably, from either doing the Iron Banner quests or just maybe randomly through Iron Banner. Great looking. My clan, personally, is all about fangs and wolves and stuff. So for me, Dead Orbit embodies the style of what I like, personally, my Titan, and what I believe my clan to be of these old Iron Lords that look like Space Knights. I always think that was a cool concept. And then we go on to continue to see the Fellwinter Frost is another legendary emblem, another cool one. This is again, we don't know how you can earn this, believably quests or just playing Iron Banner. Hopefully we'll get to see and hear about that a little bit more soon, Bungie. I'm looking at you. And then the next thing we're going to see, this is the final thing information I have here, is the Iron Banner Global Quest. This is the meet Lord Saladin. Just speak with Lord Saladin at the Iron Banner grounds beneath the Traveler. So believably it's still going to be going on in the city, or maybe there will be a new social space. I did like this idea, and I kicked it around with some people, that maybe we'd have little snippets of social spaces. Like, you go to the pillars, the third pillar for Trials of Osiris, or sorry, Trials of the Nine, let's get used to that, and it goes away. It goes away on the weekend. It's not after the weekend's gone, it's just not there for a little bit. I almost really like this idea of there's this specific hallowed ground that the Iron Banner will now take place on, and it's only open in, you know, during Iron Banner week, or, you know, when we have an event week. And this is very similar to how the old tower reacted, if you remember way back to Vanilla Destiny, before Iron Banner took place at Fellwinter Peak with Lady Aphrodite. It took place in the back end of the tower, where Lord Saladin would just set up, and he had been there forever, and that's where Iron Banner was held. A little bit, I would like it to be a little more fleshed out. I don't want this just to have a wall that we eventually go through and go like, oh, hey, Saladin, what's up? Yeah, here, give me stuff. I would like his own themed social space that maybe has a couple little bit of secrets, has some things to scan, and you'll always go back to it, because Iron Banner will, believably, much like Faction Rally, will be a recurring event. It'll come back around once every 2 months or once a month to offer those armors and weapons, and to see Saladin, of course. So I like a thematic social space for Saladin, personally. But that's it for the video, guys. Again, let me know what you think about the whole Dead Orbit stuff, and if you're worried about maybe it's going to snowball into something, down in the comments below. Let me know who you repped and why you think they're going to maybe win around next time, and you think that's going to change. Also, let me know if you're excited for Iron Banner by liking the video, leaving me some sort of comments, subscribe to the channel, let me know what's going on with you and how accumulating your stuff. How mad at you that Dead Orbit won. I'm not super mad, but I'm a little miffed. I could be happier about it. But thanks for watching the video, guys. I'll see you on the battlefield.